Okay, we've got ourselves an M3 here. Here is the review. Right, but the first thing I can tell you is that this has a sequential gearbox, which I'm going to have to say gives me the impression it needs a lot of getting used to. Fortunately, I've got a fucking lovely car here, but the fucking camera's not working. Right, well, suspension is fantastic, very, very rigid. This has a sequential gearbox, which may appeal to some people, but I have to admit it's a little bit on the tricky side to use. We've got a paddle shift too. The layout of the dashboard is very, very good. Visibility of this car is not too bad considering it's such a small car. Today is a very, very wet day, and I have to say that it would be so easy to get this car to spin out, so it is a very powerful car, and it lets you know pretty earlier on. I think if you were to go around, if you were to go around a corner in the wet and put too much on the accelerator, you would, without a shadow of doubt, be spinning around like an ice skater. The interior of the car is very, very nice. It's a very good looking car, very, very attractive. The gear changes are very aggressive, and each gear change is followed by a bit of a jolt. The only way I can really see to avoid that is to change gear maybe a little bit earlier than one would like to. But this is a very, very, very fast car. It really is quite something. Fortunately, the camera's bouncing around a bit, and I don't really know why. I think the image stabilizer. I think really it would be very easy for someone to get a lot of trouble with this car. It really, really, really does not take much at all for this car to just spin all over the place. Sequential gearbox, well, I can see the attraction to it. It's very, very, very quick to change. It certainly has its appealing qualities, I would say. But if you were going to drive this car around town, it would be so uncomfortable, it just wouldn't be funny. This is a racing car. If anybody watching this is thinking about buying one, this car is designed for going flat out. It's designed for being driven like a maniac. This is not by any means a commuter car, and if you're thinking of buying a car that just looks good, I wouldn't get this one, because it's just so bloody pokey. It's unbelievable. My overall impressions of this car in the rain are pretty bad, actually. I would have to say that a car this powerful almost certainly should be four-wheel drive. I normally do a 0 to 60 test on the motorway, but I really didn't fancy doing it in this weather, because every time I accelerate and change gear, the back end of this car begins to spin out quite drastically. But we can try anyway. See if we can get a rough idea. We won't get an accurate 0 to 60 obviously because of the weather, but we'll get an idea basically what this thing accelerates like. Well, I can't do it first, it'll just spin out. Spinning, spinning. I can't even accelerate, it's just all over the place. It's not even worth trying, so we'll give the 0 to 60 a miss on this particular occasion. Fantastic steering. car just goes around the corner. It's not leaning in any way at all. This really is a racing car.